Hi, I'm Michael Artis alongside Daryl Reed, and this is Sports.com. We have a very special guest on the phone lines. Joining us, Brian Shields, the author of WWE's Encyclopedias. It's a New York Times bestseller. Brian, thanks for joining us.
Guys, thanks for having me.
I know you're getting ready for WrestleMania. What excites you every year about WrestleMania? What's the most exciting part about it?
I think for me, growing up as a fan, it's just the entire spectacle. I mean, this is a huge event. You know, it started back in 1985. The original WrestleMania was held in New York City at Madison Square Garden. And, you know, to see this event grow to what it is today, really the apple of everyone's sports and entertainment eye, is just unbelievable. I mean, people travel from all corners of the world to attend this event, and it's just an incredible happening. You know, it's this Sunday. There's probably going to be in the neighborhood of 70,000 people at the Georgia Dome.
Wow, that's a lot of people. Hey, Brian, Daryl Reed here. Tell us a little bit about your book, and tell us why the WWE chose you to write this book.
Well, the WWE Encyclopedias is the first official written record on World Wrestling Entertainment. It came out in March of 2009, and it chronicles the entire history of the company from its beginning to 1963, all the way up to the end of 2008. It's just an incredible book. Not only people that want to have fun reading it, but also those that really want to learn about the company, where it began, its superstars, all the different events, all the title histories. The book weighs over 5 pounds. It's over 360 pages, over 900 entries, and thousands of photos. So I definitely encourage everybody to check it out. As far as why they picked me, I don't know. I'm normally not that lucky, so I got to say that I'm very grateful to WWE and DK Publishing for selecting me to work with co-author Kevin Sullivan on the book. I mean, I have a relationship that goes back to the late 90s with WWE, and I've done different projects for them, and, you know, luckily I was thought of to be part of the encyclopedia.
What can we expect from WrestleMania 27 from Atlanta, Georgia, the Georgia Dome?
I mean, really, every year, every WrestleMania seems to outdo the previous year. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff going on this year. The big things that have gotten real mass market media attention is The Rock coming back home to WWE. He's actually the first ever guest host of a WrestleMania, and the Jersey Shore personality Snooki will actually be involved in a intergender tag match as well. So those are the big things that have really gotten a lot of mass media attention, as well as the return of Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's going to be a special guest referee in the match between WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler and his broadcast partner Michael Cole. And then, you know, I mean, the WWE Championship is on the line, the World Heavyweight title's on the line. There are a lot of great events, a lot of great happenings that are going to take place this Sunday.
Do you think that when they have Snooki or some other people get into the ring who aren't professional wrestlers, especially in a WrestleMania type event, that it takes away from the event that's going on, or it adds to it?
As a fan, I think it adds to it. I mean, I always say that with a little bit of caution, because it really depends on who the talent is, what they're being utilized to do. I think, you know, people that have more of an athletic background and that have a real understanding of pro wrestling and, you know, for WWE sports entertainment, those are obviously the more successful integrations. You know, one of the more successful ones was, you know, in years past, one of the WrestleManias, I believe it was WrestleMania 11. I mean, Lawrence Taylor was in the main event against Bam Bam Bigelow and did a fantastic job. Mike Tyson was a special guest referee at WrestleMania 14 in Boston, another great success story. So I think with Snooki, I think people saw right away when she came out on Raw a few weeks back, that she's not afraid to mix it up. You know, she has a very keen awareness of what WWE is as an entertainment property. You know, whether she's your brand of entertainment or not is not really part of the discussion. But I think if you look at it objectively, you know, she's not afraid to do her thing and be entertaining, and she's also not afraid to get in the ring either. So I think as long as things are kept within certain parameters, I think people are going to really like it.
You've obviously been an avid fan of WWE for years now. Can you just talk to us about some of the biggest changes you've noticed over the years, positive and negative?
Oh, sure. I mean, the biggest thing is just what it's become. You know, I mean, WWE, even when I was watching it in the early to mid-'80s as a kid, you know, it was right before cable TV's really big boom. So, I mean, it was still a regional company in the northeast part of the United States that was looking to go national. And to be what it is today, nearly a multi-billion-dollar entertainment company that's publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange, to me, is just unbelievable. Watching the product on television, the biggest thing really is, I guess it's just now everybody is on the entertainment kind of page, you know, whereas like there are no more managers anymore. You know, managers used to be rampant in pro wrestling and WWE. I mean, now everyone is really their own mouthpiece. So that's really the biggest, you know, to me the biggest thing is just what it's become as an entertainment property.
What's your favorite WWE WrestleMania moment?
Has to be all time is WrestleMania 3. Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant was just incredible. That event saw over 93,000 people flood to the Pontiac Silverdome, and that to me is my all-time favorite moment.
I have to agree with you there. I was watching it from Madison Square Garden, simulcast live from the Pontiac Silverdome, which was pretty amazing. It certainly is one of the more historic wrestling events, and it was really, really exciting when Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant. One of the most exciting things ever. So I'm glad that it's yours since you wrote the encyclopedia. We share the same favorite wrestling moment. Obviously, there have been a lot. The Ultimate Warrior and
yeah.
You know.
I think that was my favorite.
That was probably your favorite?
Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan, yeah. that was my favorite, my personal favorite.
So, Brian, what else goes on around the event? Like the NFL, when they have the Super Bowl, they have the fan experience. What goes on around WrestleMania? Give some fans the idea of what happens in Atlanta around the event, not just the event itself.
Oh, sure. I mean, WWE has a full week's worth of events. They have a WrestleMania Access event that is just fantastic. I mean, you can, you know, call your own matches. You can play video games. There are superstar signings and events that go on as well. You can pose as your own action figure, come out to your own entrance. It's just an incredible fan-friendly, interactive environment that just goes on. It seems like round the clock. That whole week, wherever WrestleMania is, that whole week transforms into WWE. And it's really like no other event anywhere on Earth. And, you know, what Atlanta is going to become Sunday and what it's been this whole week, there are just a lot of events. I think there's something going on, either it happened last night or tonight with the Atlanta Braves. So there's just, I mean, and it gets mass media attention on all the entertainment and news outlets. So be sure to check it out there as well. But it's just constant flow of events leading up to bell time at WrestleMania.
Brian, for the fans out there that don't really have an idea of the wrestlers' schedule and what they do preparing for WrestleMania and preparing for the season itself, can you give them an idea of what the wrestlers go through themselves?
I can. You know, I've never been a wrestler, but from speaking with superstars and divas and being around the company in a small way, I mean, there is no off season. This is like no other form of sport or entertainment. The WWE superstars and divas and many of the people behind the scenes are on the road over 300 days a year. The event schedule that they have is second to none. You know, what you see on live television every week, you know, over 15 million people tune into WWE programming every week, and it's just an amazing schedule between performing at television shows, live events, pay-per-views, and then doing public appearances, media events. It is a whirlwind like no other.
Well, Snooki, Snoop Dogg, WrestleMania 27 in Atlanta this weekend. I know I'll be excited and looking for the Divas, which I think is the best and biggest change in wrestling in the last 30 years. And we want to thank you, Brian Shields, very much for your time. Enjoy Atlanta and WrestleMania 27.
Guys, thanks for having me. And before I bounce here, I want to let your audience know that they could follow me during the whole weekend at Twitter at MightyPen_sword. And Michael, I couldn't agree with you more. The Divas are definitely some of the best parts of the show.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much. Check out the WWE Encyclopedia as well. It's a New York Times bestseller. I'm tagging Reed in for the finale.
Hey, Brian, last question. Who's your favorite wrestler all the time?
Favorite wrestler all time has got to be the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan. You know, being a kid of the 80s, there weren't too many of us that weren't little real Americans running around. My favorite wrestler today would be Randy Orton.
Randy Orton. I'm not really familiar with the wrestlers today. Who's the top superstars of today's wrestling? For those.
Well, that really depends who you ask. I mean, John Cena is really the you know, the face of the company. He's a very, very popular talent and superstar. You have people like CM Punk, Randy Orton, Edge, Rey Mysterio. Of course, you can't forget The Undertaker and Triple H, which are really now more revered, legendary figures.
Exactly.
And they're going to have an incredible match this Sunday at WrestleMania. I mean, there's just so many great young superstars in WWE. I mean, there are almost too many to mention. And then there's going to be one debuting shortly after WrestleMania, a Mexican superstar named Sin Cara.
Okay. Well, thanks for having you. Thanks. We appreciate having you on the show, Brian. Everybody check out that book, WWE Encyclopedia, New York Times bestseller.